Hey everyone, welcome back to Rob's Car World. Today's top pick is a 1981 Ford Thunderbird Town Landau Coupe, a very unpopular car then and a fairly unpopular car today, but I like it. So let's go check it out. This car I found on Craigslist Marketplace. It is a 1981 Town Landau Coupe. It was basically a new design. This car came out in 1980 and ran from 80 to 82. And it was reduced down. It was a reduced size car. So the CAFE standards had come out back in 1979, 1980. We had a gas crisis in 1979, which was horrible. And the mandate from the federal government was that cars had to get 20 miles to the gallon on the average. So considering today, cars are getting on the average of 35 miles to the gallon, if not a little more. No, 20 miles to the gallon back in 1980 was considerable improvement as far as where people were getting gas mileage, right? So the 1980 T-Bird that came out, and it came out with the Cougar XR7, the Mark 7, I believe, at the time, and the Continental was also a part of this Fox body platform. The car lost 17 inches in length from the 1979 T-Bird. And that was like the Mark, I guess the Mark 5, the last of the Mark 5s at the same time. They were big cars, big chrome bumpers, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers and such. So losing 17 inches in length just by the bumper standards, that's one way of doing it. But they made the car definitely smaller. And it weighed 1,400 pounds less as well. So now personal luxury was being defined as being smaller, and Madison Avenue was getting behind this as well. Unfortunately, this new design for Ford Motor Company in particular was poorly received by both the buff books and the car buyers. So it led Ford Motor Company to quickly redesign the car again in 1983, and sales returned back to the mark. So for Ford Thunderbird, this wasn't a successful launch at all. This platform, the 8th generation, is not considered to be anything collectible, but when you hunt for cars, at least when I hunt down for cars, I hunt down originality, condition, and price. And when you find something that's original and the condition is really nice and the price is attractive, it has the formula that works for me. So I'm attracted to this car because it's not something that you need to bring to a body shop. It's something that you can get in and drive and have some fun with. So as a first-time hobbyist, they can love this car and be really attracted to it. So I went online. I found, again, getting back to the 8th generation, how they positioned this car.
Thunderbird. 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 Spread your wings in the new 1980 Thunderbird. Introducing a Thunderbird of new contemporary size that shows its elegant heritage wherever you look.
Contemporary
outside,
size.
Inside.
I like the interior.
Yet it's remarkably priced, and that includes automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, vinyl roof, and more. The new size Thunderbird, a better idea for the 80s.
A better idea for the 80s. Well, it was a good idea. The car has an interesting pedigree, though, because it was extremely successful in NASCAR racing. The car won 7 races in one calendar year. I think it was 1980. And so this car is one of the few brands where you win on Sunday, but there's no sales on Monday. So it has this special trophy accomplishment. Must have drove the folks at Ford Motor Company wacky when they came back to work on Monday morning. But so it was a NASCAR race car back then as well, and successful one too. So let's get into the car a little bit and see if we can tear it apart a little bit, but not much to tear apart. The car looks to be very original. The belt line and all that looks really nice. I love the opera window. The Landau roof was that half roof. The car looks to be original. The roof looks to be original. All the chrome work, glass, everything. The turbine wheels and things like that. Very, very smartly. It's a smart look, I think. But for its time, it didn't do well. But today, maybe time is a little nicer today. I don't know. I like the car. The interior doesn't have leather interior for me. That's not a turn off because old leather interior, I don't care what car you collect, old leather interior tends to be very uncomfortable. It has the sagging headliner, so that has to be replaced. It looks like a sagging headliner. He doesn't call it out in his photographs, so There's about $400, $450 to replace that. But you look at the door strike here, that looks all original. The chrome work here looks really nice. So I don't know if that little plug here is for rust proofing. If it is, that's probably the reason why this car has been kept so nice all these years. It had to be garage kept being in Illinois if this is where the car was originated. The interior is really pretty. I love the steering wheel. I've driven cars of this year, Lincolns and such, and it's an interesting tilt wheel. The tilt wheel actually tilts at its yoke, so the column doesn't go up and down. The actual tilt wheel tilts by its yoke, and it provides an interesting driving position. I like it. So it has a very nice luxury feel when you do drive the car. They are quiet. They're not noisy cars. They're very well insulated cars. There's your 55 mile an hour top speed limit on the highways back then, and the 85 mile an hour speed limit, which was crazy. But those were the times, you know. Here's that bumper. The bumper now is a urethane bumper. It had like foam insert here to protect it. So they lost their 1,400 pound savings that they had between the 1979 T-Bird and this 8th generation. A lot of that savings in both weight and in both length, I think, was provided by, just getting away from those massive chrome bumpers. So, yeah, the car has a nice color. The hideaway headlights is cool, I think, to this day. I think that's kind of works for me. It's, I'm trying to sell this car, folks. Please bear with me. I'm not doing a good job, but I'm new at this. So the engine bay looks really original. That's the only way I can say. These are not high-performance engines. This here is the 4.2-liter V8. It's 255 cubic inches. It's not something that's going to really get out of your way very quickly. However, it's not overwhelming and difficult to work on as well. So the top of the line was a 302 V8, and this car doesn't have that. This car has the smaller V8 engine. But again, all original. It doesn't look like anything's been replaced. Doesn't look like there's been frame damage or any type of spray on the inside here. And this is just my takeaway from the photographs. Of course, you have to see the car in person to know. And there's another side of the car. It looks as nice as the right side. The driver's side looks, it looks stately today. I think the car has a nice luxury presence today. I wonder how 30-year-olds would view this car because they didn't grow up with it like I did. But there's that nice grille. Yeah, a little there, nice place here, and here's all your materials. Has the original mats, has the original owner's guide. Again, originality, condition, and price. This car fills that criteria. Simple, manual type heating controls, which kind of work for me too. Having restored a lot of cars with automatic heating controls, there's something to be said about a manual lever for hot and cold. Kind of works. A lot of vacuum lines on these cars as well. There's a speedometer, 72,700 miles. With a 5-digit odometer, it's possible this is 172,000 miles. So, you look at this car carefully, but I can almost really suggest that this car is the original miles based on what I'm seeing in these photographs. But, yeah, there's those red plugs. Remember, we talked about these before on a video I did, and that's that rust-proofing plugs that they put in the sills and the doors, and they really worked back then. So, yeah. Nothing that very fancy, but a car that rides really nice. I don't think the rear of the car looks nice. I don't think there's not much more to talk about on this car other than the price of $7,900. If I offered him $6,000 to start the conversation, if I bought the car for $6,500 and bought it home, I'd probably bring it in my garage and say, why did I buy it? And then I try to sell it in about 2 years and try to get $8,000 for it. But in the meanwhile, I would have some fun with it, get to know it, and enjoy it. It's a good first hobby car. You don't have to go to a body shop. You probably don't have to have an engine pulled out of this car. You just dive into it, enjoy it, have some fun, and that's what this hobby is all about, having fun. So originality, condition, and price is my 3 criterias for finding nice cars. So if you're not a subscriber to Rob's Car World, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to see you. Please pass this page along with friends that love cars, and we're growing this channel both with our videos, and we're doing shorts now too as well. Thank you very much for your the patrons that we have on this channel too, your support. You know who you are. We appreciate having your support. So if you would like to become a patron of this channel, please click that link and it will take you to our patron channel. The benefits of being a patron are many, and you can read about it, but get to know me more, and I can help you in your car search as well on a personal level. So that's basically it. I'm going to put the final slide up. We'll show you where to find this car if you're interested, and I'll take the other slides down so you can see where this car is. And let's get right to that slide. It is in Craigslist. It's on Melrose Park in Illinois. It's right outside of Chicago. Search Craigslist 81 Ford Thunderbird, and this car will come popping at you. Thanks very much for joining me today. I appreciate having you here. We'll see you again with another Rob's Top Pick. Have a great day.